Labour's deputy leader said some firms were deliberately targeting the most vulnerable. Speaking at the Labour Party conference, he said his party would launch a review into a tax to pay for gamblers to be treated on the NHS. The West Bromwich East MP, who is Labour's shadow culture secretary, told delegates some gambling firms, driven by greed, are deliberately targeting our poorest communities. We now know that, when vulnerable people try to opt out of online gambling, companies don't always block their accounts as they should. Gambling companies are even harvesting data to deliberately target low-income gamblers and people who have given up. Can you imagine the uproar if the drinks industry started targeting members of Alcoholics Anonymous by selling drink outside AA meetings? We wouldn't tolerate that, and we shouldn't tolerate the same kind of behavior by some bookmakers. Announcing a thorough review of gambling addiction and current provision for treatment on the NHS, Mr. Watson added, "Our review will look at how best to fund NHS treatment and help free problem gamblers from the destructive cycle of addiction. My message to gambling firms today is clear: stop targeting vulnerable people. Start acting responsibly. And meet your obligation to help those whose lives have been blighted by addiction. You can do it now, because it's the right thing to do. Or you can wait for the next Labour government to do it for you." The Association of British Bookmakers, which represents high street betting shops, said it backed an evidence-based approach to helping problem gambling in the UK and would support the probe. Labour has also pledged to crack down fixed-odds betting terminals by reducing the maximum stake from £100 to just £2. The party has also demanded a ban on bookmakers sponsoring football teams. In his speech in Brighton, Mr. Watson described Labour's performance in the general election as magical and said that Jeremy Corbyn had shown the country that another way was possible. He said he had broken the spell of fear that the Tories had cast on the UK and confidently predicted that Mr. Corbyn would be the next Prime Minister. He also hit out at Theresa May, branding her dazed and confused, caught in the headlights and living on Boris time.